Hello, hello everyone. We'll be starting the stream shortly. All right, so let's start the stream. This is the third stream of 16x AI coding stream, where we will be coding vibe coding with Claude Code and other AI coding tools. So let me turn down this music a little bit. For this stream, I do have some planned content I want to do. So I want to add a support for tool calling to my app, which is 16x Eval. So that's gonna be very useful for people who want to test out tool calling capabilities of models, because that seems to be the trend. Where newer models like Claude Sonnet 4 and Kimi K2 and Qwen3 models seem to be very focused on agentic coding capabilities, which means that they have to be very good at using tools. And I feel like that's something that a lot more people want to evaluate models on. So we want to support that for the 16x Eval app, so that people can test out on their own whether a particular model is good at tool call or not. So what is let's go into the introduction of what is tool call. So I've prepared some examples on tool calling. Actually, I have implemented tool calls before for my libraries and other apps. So I already have some kind of foundation on how to do it. So tool call basically means that instead of giving the model a prompt and context, you also give it a set of tools where it can choose which tool to use, and then give you like the parameters on the tools to call instead of text. So for example, I have a calculator tool here that supports add, subtract, multiply, divide, and taking two parameters A and B. So this is a tool that I defined. It doesn't have the logic on how to run it, but it just tells the LLM that we have this tool, so that the LLM can use this. And this is the example of how the tool call actually works. So here I'm trying to call the model Gemini 2.5 Flash, where I pass in our calculator tool and our message on what is 5 plus 3, right? So if a model is good at using tools, it will be able to return us a response with tool calls, and then it will be able to utilize the calculator tool. So what that means is that the response will contain a tool call that is actually the calculator tool. So here the function name is calculator, and then the parameter will have operation A and B, which is what we expect. So here we have already defined the operation here, add and A and B. So once the model calls this tool, then on the client side of the application, we'll be able to actually execute our calculator tool and then return the response. So this is basically how tool calling works. It basically gives models other tools like to do code edit, to gather context, or to perform calculations or search the web. So these are the tools that typically the models will get access to. So let's run this and see what's the output. I think it will give a better sense of how it works. So I'm running, so you can see the test succeed. We are running this call test where we pass the prompt what is 5 plus 3 to the model, and then the model will be expected to call the function that with the operation add 5 and 3. And then some models support handling multiple calls in one response. For example, we can pass in the prompt what is 20 minus 8 and what is 5 multiplied by 3. So this is one prompt, and a good model like Gemini 2.5 2.5 Flash here will be able to return one single response with two function calls, right? So instead of like requiring two API calls, we just need one API call to solve both calculations. You can see here the first one is subtract and then the second one is multiply. So that's a good model. Some models don't support this, so you have to be careful. And then there's also like a chaining of models to calls, so that's like much more advanced. But we'll just test the simple to call for today's stream. So we want to be able to support to call in our app 16x Eval, which is like a app that I built to test out different models. So in this app, we can kind of send the same prompt to different models and then get back the response. And then rate the responses on how well each model does. So you can see here I have different ratings for different models and then rank them. But this app currently doesn't support tool call, so we cannot test the model's capabilities using tools or whether they support tool call or not. So that's the thing we're gonna add today. And then after we add this feature, we can use this newly added feature to test out new models. I just realized I didn't turn on the screen. Okay, that's unfortunate. So let me go through the example again. So this is a, let's go through what is a tool call again. This is, for example, a tool that I supply to a model. It's a calculator tool that allows the model to use this tool to perform add, subtract, multiply, and divide, whereas the model just need to pass in the parameters a and b, and then as a client, we'll be able to help the model do the calculation. And then, for example, when we call the model, we just give it a calculator tool, and then the model is a good model will be expected to call the tool calculator here, and then call it with 3 arguments, operation a and b. So this will give back the model the expected response. As we can see here, this is a correct response where the model calls the function and then provide the argument. Yeah, so that's basically how the function calling works on a very basic level. And then we want to be able to support this functionality inside our app 16x Eval, so that we can like test out different models and whether they support tool call and how well they support it. So this is basically the goal of this stream. Obviously, I already have the library here written. It does support tool call. So let's maybe find another example of how well it does. So this is a good example of multi-round function calling, right? So basically, the first query is 15 plus 32, and then the model is expected to call the calculator tool with add 15 and 32. And then after this, assuming we have a calculator function, we'll be able to return to the model the result of the calculation, which is 47. And then we will be able to send another message to the model, and then it should be able to understand that we have performed the calculation. The result is 47, so it will be able to just tell us the final message is 47. So actually we can try to run this and see how it works. Yeah, so you can see the first initial function call was 15 and 32, and then we provided the response 47, and then the model was able to output the final response, which is that 15 plus 32, 47. So this demonstrates the entire flow of how the function calling works. Yeah, so basically that's how we're supposed to implement the tool call inside a AI application. And let's go back to our app and see how we're gonna implement it. So basically we want to treat tool calling as like a first-class citizen. So on the left hand side we have currently prompts, context, and model. So these are all the libraries. Basically we want to add another tab here called tools, where we have all the different tool call definitions that we can use to test the models. So that's one thing. So while we are here, we might as well write down the requirements, because this is quite a big task. So we will actually write a kind of a requirement document to like tell model what to do instead of just prompting it. So I'll create a new document called tool call. So this will record our requirement to the model. So just gonna write English here on what we want to achieve, right? So basically add support for tool call in the app. So I'll list out the features. New tab called, we want to have a new tab called tool call maybe library, similar to the ones here. So we have a new library. We have some built-in tools, like built-in tools like calculator, weather. Maybe just be more specific. We have two built-in tools, calculator and weather. Calculator tool will have built-in verification, I guess. Let's see how this works. So we call a model with the tool call, and then it gives back a response. And then we can verify if the response is correct. So basically, the calculator tool can do the verification itself. Actually, we don't have to do that. We can do it with our current eval functions. We don't have to do this. So just the schema of the tools. No need to implement. I think we don't need to actually implement the tools. We just need to verify the logic is working. To collect 2 calls from the model as a response in the response. We have 2 built-in tools, and then we allow user to define custom tools. So basically similar to here, or maybe we can just copy paste this thing, reference folder, so that we can reference function definition. Actually, so this is an example tool. Follow Okay, so the user can define custom tools and then allow user to choose when creating evaluations. So currently when we create a new evaluation, the user can choose custom from, and context. So there should be one more field below context that allows the user to select tools passed to the model. And then we need to also display the tool call result or responses in the evaluation detail. So that would mean that, so instead of just displaying the text response, we also need to display the tool call argument input. So we basically write below response. So these are the requirements, I think. Obviously, I think we're still missing a few of this requirement. And basically, I think this is like a 1 or 2 hour task for the Claude Code to handle. I think maybe 30 minutes to 1 hour to finish this task. So I'm gonna break it down into like different phases, and then let Claude Code handle it like phase by phase instead of just doing one whole thing. Let's see. I think we can break this down into 2 parts. Right? So maybe we'll have phase 1 requirement to add the new tab without actually like doing it. And then we have the phase 2, which is allow the user to define custom tools. And then we have the phase 3, which is to actually allow these tools to be used. Alright, so these are the 2 phases, I think. And then each phase will probably take like 10 to 20 minutes. I think. Yeah, so basically this is, I think, how we scope out the requirements and then plan it out. But this is very rudimentary, but I think it should work. So we'll commit this as the plan. And then let's run Claude Code. So, okay, so it's auto updating. Let me, I guess there's a new update recently, so let's see what's update. There are change log somewhere. No, okay. Release notes. Edit setting, and now create sub agents. Yeah, I already know that. Okay. Let's run this again. And then you can see a detector that we're in this file, so we can just say what we want to do to the Claude Code, and then it will be able to perform the task. So for this part, I tend to use a voice command. I'll work on phase 1. I think because it's the new task, I wanted to actually understand the code base first before doing anything. Investigate the code base thoroughly before coding. So actually a better way is to put it inside here so that when we refer to it, it will always be there, right? Instead of just putting it into the prompt. Yeah, and then we can also add a status here. Status not started, right? Yeah, so I think this will be enough for the Claude Code to do. Let's see, right? So it's gonna read the file and then gonna read all this and put it into the context and then understand that phase 1 is just this part. This is a fairly complex app. It has the experiments, evaluations, benchmarks, prompts, and everything, and then we need to manage all the data from each evaluation. So I would say this task will probably take me at least 2 hours to do, but I'm very hopeful that Claude Code can get it done within 2 hours. You can see the good sign is that it's not spinning up new subtasks. Typically, if I see that Claude Code is running a subtask together context, it's gonna be a very slow progress. But thankfully, it's not using subtasks here to do that. It's just running it sequentially. So this means that it's gonna complete this task much faster. If it decides to run a sub agent with a subtask, then it's gonna take like 2 minutes to gather the context. So you can see it's already created a tool page, which has the built-in tools, which is nice. Yeah, so it looks like it's almost done here. Oh, I should probably tell it to check because we're using this library called send prompt to send all our prompts to the model. So we probably need to check ask it to check the library. Display the, okay, so I need to add it here. Send the prompt with two costs using send prompt library, which we have written. And then we also have I also prepared the reference documentation on this library here. So I just gonna add it to instructions. So something like this. The docs are available here. I'm just gonna point it to. Yep. Basically, you can see here in the send prompt library, we already support function call. So the underlying logic on how to call the functions and how to normalize between different providers is already done here. So I would say this task is like it's not completely from scratch, but we already done the foundational work here. So you can see it's it's actually already modifying the send prompt library. Oh, that's weird. I didn't ask it to work on step 2 or step 3. Let's see. So it's trying to set up the tool call collection from model response. So it's actually ignoring our request to just work on phase 1, and it's actually working on phase 2 and phase 3. Some parts of phase 1 and phase 3 already. That's interesting. Yeah, so you can see despite us saying work on phase 1, it's actually working on integrating the library and API already. Oh, it does say phase 1 is complete. Okay, interesting. Maybe it needs to do something here. Let's see. Let's see how does the UI look like. So this is clearly not working. Let's restart the app and see if it works. Okay, so we have a tool library here that contains 2 tools as we expect. So we have the calculator tool and the weather tool. Which is good. So can we already use them? No, I don't think so. I don't think we have the tool call here. So it's actually just phase 1. And then can we define our own tools? No, we cannot. Okay. So I think, yeah, it actually did only do the phase 1, but it did change some stuff here. I guess it's just trying to lay out the groundwork for phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Yeah, so typically I would, for a new phase of the same task, I would clear the context so that we don't waste tokens. But I think in this case, we don't really need to do that because it looks like we didn't burn a lot of tokens. It's just 3.4k tokens. But I think I'm not actually gonna clear the context in this case. So let's mark phase 1 as done. So I think this will just update this and then update something here. Yeah. I'm actually gonna skip phase 2 because I don't think this is like that important. Like, imagine you want to evaluate the model's capability on using tools. You don't really need to define your own tools. You can just test it with like the building tools. Like, I think phase 2 is actually not that necessary. Let's skip that. Let's skip phase 2 and go directly into phase 3 so that we can test the whole flow. Okay, so put the phase 2 into like a later phase or something. So let's do that instead. I think phase 3 is more important. Yeah, so it swapped the order. So this is phase 2, phase 3. Yeah, so now it's working on the proper actual phase 2, which is to allow the users to pick the tools when creating evaluations and then integrating everything together. So this would be a slightly more complex task because it does touch the core model, which is the evaluation. So all the things related to evaluations have to be updated instead of just having prompts and context and responses. So all the evaluations will now need to have tool related fields. So yeah, it's trying to gather the context and then figuring out which are the files that need to be. I think I made a slight mistake. I didn't commit the phase 1 progress. I should have committed that so that it's easier to review. But I think it's not a big problem. We can still do the review together. You can see it's actually updating the eval field with the 2 calls. I think this is expected. Oh yes, even handling the 2 call mode, right? I don't know if that's necessary. So basically, there's 2 ways the 2 call can work. I think this is kind of specific to Gemini, but I don't know if OpenRouter supports this. Basically, auto means that the model can pick to call a tool or not call a tool, right? It's automatic picking tools. And then any means that the model has to pick one tool. it can be any of the two. So these are the two modes. Basically, any means that the model has to choose the two, and then auto means that the model don't have to choose the two. It can just output the text. So that's the difference. I'm actually not sure if OpenRouter supports this. So let me just do a quick check. No, it doesn't, right? I think OpenRouter doesn't support this. Doesn't support this feature. Oh, it does. Okay, so it does have the two choice use, auto or none. Oh, it only supports auto, no any, right? So it doesn't. You can see here it's different from Gemini because Gemini supports any. Let me just quickly check if I support it here. I actually don't support it here. Interesting. What's the default? Oh, this is the default auto. So I guess I was just using the default here for this library. Let me check my OpenRouter. Okay, so this is the OpenRouter logic, and then we're passing the tools. Nothing else, right? So yeah, we didn't pass this. It will just be automatic, which is what we want actually. That's fine. I don't really like that it's trying to force the to-call mode here. Maybe I want to keep it simple, right? So let's actually interrupt process here, and then just ask the model to ignore the to-call mode. Yeah, just ignore it, and then we'll take care of that later. I feel like this is complicating things a little bit. Yeah, because OpenRouter doesn't support it, I doubt other model providers support such thing. Let me actually take a look at the library that I wrote a very long time ago that I already forgotten. Let's see. This is a call message, function call input message. Where is the mode? I don't remember. Okay, so the prompt options as the mode. We call mode any. Let's see. So this is Google and Google Vertex. Yeah. So basically, this thing is only used for Google related models. So it's not used by any other. Might as well don't support it. It's not a standard thing for us. And I think based on my testing, Google's to-call support isn't that good. So there's no point supporting something that only Google supports. I think OpenAI by far has the best support. But with this feature implemented, we can actually test out like new open source models on whether they are good at supporting to-calls, right? We can actually see which one is the better one in terms of to-call support. Let's see how far ahead is it. It's trying to remove all the to-calls. To-call mode is good. It's actually got interrupted here, right? I think it might have forgotten that it need to update the eval detail model. Yeah, I don't think it did the UI update. Are you sure you have done the UI related changes to display the two core results? I don't think so, right? You're absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. It's because it got interrupted, so it's kind of lost its train of thought, I guess. Let's see how it does it. So in the eval, we added the tools and the tool calls. Oh yeah, so we need to give the tool definition, save the tool definition, and save the tool calls parameters, which is correct. While they are doing that, let's review the other changes. So I think this looks correct. Let's stage that. So we're gonna use this tab to version control. It's apparently lagging a little bit. I think it's the streaming that caused my computer to lag. Why is it so slow here? In general, I think Claude Code runs very slowly inside cursor. I don't know why. Oh, this is the new changes. Let's not review that yet. Go to some other changes. Okay, this is very slow. Oh, I think I know why. I think because I installed some. Yeah, this thing has to be disabled. I think. Yeah, this thing has to be disabled. I think this thing caused the entire thing to be slow. I recently enabled it for some, but I should really just disable. Yeah, now everything should be much faster. All here, Eval here. Nation tool looks correct. Eval processing tools, correct. This is the tool store, okay. Page looks correct. Navbar, tool selection. I need to make sure that tool calls are properly passed from evaluation data. Let me check where view. Okay, so it's trying to pass the props to the evaluation result. Okay, it's just doing double checks on whether all the data are passed correctly to the components, which is a good thing because I think this project is very complex in that it's very nested. So you need to make sure that all the parameters are passed correctly. Updating the to-do list. Oh, okay. So it's done with all that. 10:38. Okay. Let's see what's our plan. Yeah, so we're currently at the implementation stage of using Claude Code. It appears that it's done. It claims that it has done the feature, so we're just gonna see if it's actually done. There's a summary here, but I generally just ignore this because it can be misleading. Let's see. Let's actually create a new experiment called tool call, and then let's just try it out. Okay, so now we have the tool. Okay, nice. This looks nice. So now we have a tools section here where I can select the tools. Ah, nice. I can select multiple tools. Okay, interesting. Okay, so actually let me create a new prompt first, right? Say calculate. Let's do a slightly tricky calculation. Calculate 314 times 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so this is something that the model wouldn't be able to compute directly. I think it does need a user calculator. So this is the result. Let's see if it actually works. So this is what we are expecting. I mean, it doesn't have to calculate this, it just need to call the calculator. So I actually don't need that. Let's see. Let's run a new eval with calculate prompt. The calculator is Sonnet. I think Sonnet should be able to do it. Let's see. Oh, object with okay, that's a typical error because of how Vue.js works. So let's just pass that error to the model. Wait, why is it running? Oh no, I think I forgot to select the tool. Okay, so let's just give it fix it. I think you should be able to fix it because this is a very typical error. When you pass the objects between different processes inside Electron, you have to serialize and deserialize it. And Vue.js doesn't do that automatically, so you have to kind of do it manually. Yep. So you need to do this JSON pass and JSON stringify thing. Yeah. Okay. So now that it's done that, it should be working. Let's see. Let's delete this. Select calculator, select prompt. Okay, so we got the response, right? Okay, nice. So okay, so entropic is interesting because entropic allows returning both the text response and the tool call response. We got them kind of together, right? So that is nice. You can see here we have a tool call section here that says the model is calling the tool with operation multiply and A and B, right? So I think it looks correct. So yeah, that's actually working, right? I mean, it's actually working, so that's good. I guess we still need to rate this automatically somehow. So yeah. Okay. You know what? I think rating is kind of a whole new section of how to do it. I don't know if I have time to cover that, but let's do the manual rating here. I think this is quite good. It does what it does supposed to do. So this is actually correct. That's Sonnet 4. Very typical. Let's try GPT, DeepSeek, Gemini 2.5 Flash, and our Kimi K2, right? Let's try the Kimi K2 from OpenRouter and .ai directly. So these are all the models that I think support tool call. Let's see if it works. Oh, I think we need a new column to show the tool call response somehow. I don't think that's added. Yeah, I don't think it's added here. So we actually need to, let me just commit all these changes. Yep, so we're still waiting for Qwen3 Yeah, this is very quickly. Also, I think this does mean that Qwen3 supports toCall. At least the native Moonshot AI supports it. So while we're running this, I feel like we also need to ask Claude Code to do something else. All this. Okay, now we got the response. Let's restart all these terminals because I just restarted the extension and everything needs to be restarted. Let's restart the app. Okay, let's restart Claude Code. Should we inherit previous context? I think so, right? It's better to inherit. We're still very good on the tokens. So let's see, right? Let me just check. Yeah, I don't think the output column have the cost. Oh no, I think GPT 4.1 did not use the, but somehow it got the correct answer. Oh, it's the wrong answer. Okay, interesting. Yeah, okay, so I think what happens here is that it's supposed to, yeah, I think we just need to update how our evaluation function works too. Basically, our evaluation function checks a particular string. We just need to update the evaluation function to also check the call response. Yeah, I think so. That's how it. Okay. So let's add a phase 3. Add a new column in eval table to show the two all forms. Show the response to show the toCall. Yeah, show the two, because it's not the toCall response, right? Just the two. And then update the evaluation function to also search in toCalls in the evaluation result, in addition to text. Yeah, so this will allow us to search the toCalls instead of just the text. So what I'm gonna do is, because we're expecting the calculator function to actually call this, so I'm just gonna create a function, evaluation function, pass out the toCalls, right? So let's say a calculator function. So we want it to call this function, call this, and then maybe call the multiply. It should have multiply. So we need this tree. Let's see if it already does that. Let's yeah, actually we need a new category. I just realized we need a new category. Okay, so there are a few more things we need to do. add a new category of two. Category. Maybe tool call is a better name. Yeah, I think that's good. So let's ask it to work on phase 3. So we're actually discovering new requirements as we work on it. It's pretty normal. So I guess this does inherit all the previous content, which is nice. Like, see, we have all the categories here for different kind of testing, but we don't have the category to test tool calls. That's why we want to add one more. Yeah, it's found in this file where we define all the categories. Claude Code is still very slow in updating files. I think this is one of the things that is slower than Cursor. I would have finished updating this file in 5 seconds. It took like 30 seconds to finish. Okay, so now it's finished the first task. Let's see. We should have a tool call. Yeah, we have a tool call category here. So let's put this on and put our experiment. Oh no. Also under tool, and then link it to calculator. Okay, cool. Now we can see the call response. Oh, we haven't finished updating this. I really shouldn't be doing anything while the code is being changed, so let's just quit this and then wait for it to finish. And let's touch this because this is React. The states are very unstable. I mean, this is Vue, so we shouldn't be touching the app while it's being edited on. It'll mess up things. Okay, so it's trying to add a tool call column. Let's see how it renders the tool call response. Actually, I have no idea how to do it, but it's trying to render the function names. Okay, I guess that's good enough, right? Just render the function names without rendering the other parameters. So the custom eval will need to be evaluated on the text response as well as the tool call response. Let's see if it can find out where the execution actually happens. It's trying to use grep and search and everything to find it. I don't think it's this one. You found it? Okay. Oh, you actually found it. Evaluate response. What's evaluate? I think it's this gallery response. Yeah. Oh, so it's taking a response. So that's a bit tricky. So we need to update this method signature somehow. Okay, nice. So it's taking a response or eval. That's a bit weird. Why don't you just change it to taking higher valuation? I feel like that's probably a better way. I guess this does give us the backwards compatibility. It's doing weird things. Yeah, this does look correct. So it's searching through all the tags. And we're almost at the context limit. Let's see. Okay, so looks like we're done here. Let's try out. I see. I think the problem is not that these models didn't use the tool call, it's that the create variation did not pass the. Yeah, I think now I understand why it's. So the create variation didn't actually pass the. But there are other problems here, right? The tool call column width is a bit weird. Yeah, the tools column is very weird. Let's change that maybe. Let's start a new context. We're just gonna save this as a tool call work in progress. So this eval table cell is how this table got rendered. It's probably something wrong here. The tools column doesn't render correctly or consistently like other columns. Please fix it. Yeah, so this column is very weird. It's like right aligned and then yeah, generally very weird. Oh yeah, maybe it's not this. Yeah, it's the eval table thingy. Thinking of which, I'm actually curious on how our code base is. I want to see how big it is. files. Probably something. Our experiments page is 700 lines. Okay, I think that's still manageable. Why is this file so long? Oh, it has. Yeah, I have no idea why this file is so not that complicated. Eval table cell is also very long, so that's probably why it's. So you added this one, okay, it's reasonable. Okay, nice. So but I don't really like this thing. A bit weird. Remove the wrench icon on the table heading for tools column. Yeah, I don't really like this icon. I mean, for other things, kind of, we need to show that this is code, so we need it. But for tools, yeah. So now it's looking a little bit better. So let's fix the other problem, which is when we create a variation, it doesn't select the tool. That's something. Actually, how are the evaluations stored? Kind of curious. So tools, tool definitions is here. Okay, so let's see if Claude Code can handle this. Let's start a new session, and then this is the create variation thing. Let's try to find this so that we can save some time on finding the context, because the Claude Code takes a long time to find the context, so might as well just point it to it. So let's just point Claude Code to this specific line. You can see 2 lines selected. When we create a variation of a evaluation, the tools are not passed to the new evaluation form. Fix it. This is likely because we just added tools to the app. I think that should be. So I already selected these 2 lines, so it's gonna save a lot of time for Claude Code to find exactly where it's wrong. So this is a quick tip, I guess. If you know where the code change should happen or where the problem is, then you can just select the line, and then the ID is gonna tell Claude Code which, and then Claude Code doesn't need to spend time on finding where this problem is coming. It still need to find the relevant files, but at least it has a nice entry to the problem. You can see it didn't actually spawn any sub agents today, which is in the past few days it's been spawning sub agents, which is not really a good thing because each sub agent takes like 1 to 2 minutes to find the context or do something, which is very time consuming. I don't really like it. I like that it's all sequential and very fast. So let's see what's the changes. Oh, I haven't fixed the change. Oh, okay, so it's found the change. I guess this part. Yeah, we are passing a lot of props around, so yeah, definitely need to be careful. Actually, I don't know what are the. This is basically enumerating all the properties or fields. I don't know what's a better way to avoid this. I mean, there are some fields I don't want to pass, so I cannot just use per operator. But to make changes like everywhere for this kind of patterns, it's also very error prone. So yeah, I think there will be some other bugs like this. Let's see. Okay, it's still not selected. It's still not selected. Let's try to restart the app. If you So this is selected, and then this is not selected. Oh, it actually didn't save the... Is that right? It didn't save the... Oh, interesting. Maybe it didn't actually save the... Check if the tools are actually saved in the eval when we create the evaluation with tools being selected. I think we might not have saved that. That's why the create variation doesn't have tools. Yeah, that's probably the reason why. I think the tools are supposed to be displayed here, right? It's only have two calls, doesn't have the tools here. Now it's trying to use think. We're trying to trace the steps on how this evaluation is created. It's actually very complicated. I'm not sure if it has to be, but currently it's quite complicated. Yeah, it's a very long process. Add eval. Does this have the... Has the... Yeah, the spread operator should have two. Interesting. Let me do some manual digging. Let me just export this and then see if we actually have the tool calls here. Oh, it has the tools here. It does have the tools. So this is a bunch. This entire operation is a waste of time. Okay. So let's just stop this because we have manually verified the tools already. Handle create variation still does not select the tools that was in the evaluation. Yeah, I think this is quite hard to describe, right? So I guess this is good enough. So the problem we have here is when we create a variation, it's supposed to select all the parameters here, but it's not selecting the correct tool that was used. Let me just double check this evaluation. It has the tools and then it has the... Oh yeah, looks correct. component try to set the tool, but it's happening inside the watch with image. That looks weird. It's trying to use like some kind of set timeout tricks to fix this problem. It's not the most elegant way of doing things. It's weird. You shouldn't have to resort into this kind of thing. Oh, it's really weird. Okay, at least it works. Okay, at least it works. Let's see if it actually works, right? I think these two models are very good at two calls, so it should really not fail. Yeah, we have the results here that shows. Oh yeah, the results doesn't show here. It doesn't show here. Calculate multiple. The target strings does not show up here. Oh, interesting. Why? Oh, because it doesn't have the text response. Okay, so we need to fix that. We need to have some kind of green highlighting inside the tool call as well. Inside the eval details, also highlight the matched strings inside the tool call section, similar to the response section where the matched strings are highlighted in green. Similar to how the response section. Yeah. Let's do some UI UX improvement. So this looks correct. This looks correct. Understand how response highlighting. Perfect, I can see. Okay. Yes, we need to create a similar to the property on the tool argument. Okay. Okay, let's see if it renders correctly. Okay, it does render. So highlight this. Oh, it didn't highlight. The highlighting doesn't work if the response doesn't, if the evaluation doesn't contain the text response and only contain a tool call response. Yeah, this is a problem because now some models only give us a tool call without the text, so it's kind of not highlighting. I think we also want to add like some sample evaluation to the app so that when the user first opens it, they will be able to see some sample tool. That would be good. this doesn't. On the issue. Okay, now it should work. Yes. Nice. So now we can see this text being highlighted, which is what we want the model to have. Let's also add the operation, the eval function here. And then now it should be 4 out of 4. Okay. Let's try other model. Camera. Brook. Let's try a faster. I don't know if Grook supports it, so let's try it. Try it out. Find out. Okay, seems to work. Grook 4. You can see Sonnet can return a toCall and a response. Kimi K2 can return a response and a toCall. So these are the two models that can return both a response and a toCall within the one response, which is interesting. No other models can do that. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess this does work. I guess we should specify the order of A and B, right? Because some of the operations are not, like the reverse of the operations are not the same. So I guess we should clarify that for the calculator too. Yeah, I think something that is missing. Well, we did get the highlighting to work and the evaluation function to work. So let's commit that first. Evaluation function works with toCall. And then update the definition of calculator to specify the order of parameters, especially for subtract and divide. Yeah, okay, reasonable. And I wonder if now we can do something like that inside our evaluation. I don't know if this works. Let's just try. I think it does work. Okay. Yeah, I think it does work. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, okay. EA. Oh, okay. The order can be different. I don't want to normalize this. Okay, so I think we still have to think about how do we solve the order problem. Not that easy to verify the output against a JSON string, which can be in any order. I guess we can just execute this and get a result. Yeah, maybe for the next iteration we can do that. For now this works. Let's try the weather tool. This experiment calculate. And I guess the weather one would be here, right? Weather. What does the weather tool actually do? Wait, this is just a calculator tool. Where's the weather tool? Oh, this is the reference. Oh, actually I did the wrong file. Let me just some quick copy pasting. Weather Celsius Fahrenheit. Required location. Okay. City. Okay. Okay, reasonable. Update tools. Let's test out the weather. What's the weather in Singapore? Oh, create a new experiment. Ready? Select weather. Actually, let's try giving it two and see if we can know which. Oh, invalid or required can only. Okay. Wait, what? What is this error? So OpenAI doesn't support some. Required is required to be supplied and to be including every key. Okay. So OpenAI requires all the required fields to be supplied. Interesting. I guess this is not a bug. It's just something that OpenAI. Yeah, this is the problem with this kind of thing. So some people don't support some things. Isn't this already required? Why is it not updated? It's still not updating. Wait, where? Why doesn't it update? Oh, there's another built-in tool. Wow, there's so many built-in tools. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so I guess this is the problem with Claude Code. It actually created a duplicate code. Use the tools inside tools. Guess this is the store. Yeah. Instead of hard coding. Why are there so many TypeScript errors? Oh, the value, okay. Okay, cool. So now these are all fired. Make all the parameters required by default. I guess this doesn't really make sense now because we cannot create new tools. So let's go to our requirements and then make all parameters required as it is required by OpenAI API. Yeah. I guess now we can refer to this file instead of the reference file. Phase 4. Okay, so let's work on the phase 4, which is to allow the user to define new tools. To library page. Yeah. Okay, so let's work on phase 4. Stemming current tool store. Yep. Let's see, what kind of tool do we want to create to test? Get product details, search products. Okay. Oh, you can set a default here. Okay, interesting. I guess we can support that later. Custom tools. Okay. How do you persist custom tool? Oh, I think it completely missed out the persistent part. Okay. That's interesting. New tool model. This is gonna be very complicated to do. Actually, why don't we just support like JSON schema paste? That would be so much easier. Than using a GUI to create tools. Anyway, I think the people testing tools are like probably technical. Probably don't need a GUI to create tools. But then again, the schema can be different based on the providers, so it's not standardized. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. I can't believe that Claude Code missed out the persistent part. It's just gonna save the tools in memory. Huh. How do you miss out something like that? Would it realize that it's missing out the persistent? Okay, so this looks okay. Let's see. Test ABC string ABC random values. Let's just call this A and call this B. Add function. Okay, looks correct. And edit and okay. I think it works, but it's missing persistent. This feature is missing persistence. Let's create a new Electron store to store all the custom tools. Alright. Okay, interesting. So Claude Code is not that smart to understand that you need to add persistent when we add a new feature. Okay, storing to the user data. Storing to the user data. Okay. We have a separate Eval's analytics model. User data. I'm not sure user data is the best place to experiment the model. Guess it's okay for now. Let's see what's being stored in user data. Experiments, evals. There's already a lot of things here. There's already a lot of things here. I don't really want to store it there. create a new set of APIs inside the storage to store the tools. Yeah, I think this is a better way. This is a better way. I don't want to store into the users too many things there. Yeah, it's actually very easy to migrate it to a new store. It's just a few lines of code. Good. Let's test it out. Subtract a from. Oh shit. Re-render. Whatever. Oh yeah, need to export the things. Again, subtract sub a number b b. Okay, so okay, nice. So we have a custom tools here that is persisted, and then if we close this and reopen it, we still have our custom tools. Okay, so let's see the weather. Okay. Works. Okay, so I think that's it for the tool. So we managed to get the tools working and verify that it works on all the different providers: Sonnet, GPT, DeepSeek, Grok, Kimi K2, Gemini, and OpenRouter. So all the tool calls are working. We can also check on activity. So this should give us some clue. Yep, so it has the tool call here. It has a tool call here. So these are all the tool calls. Yeah, so basically this works. So that's the end of the implementation of tool call. So we have successfully supported this. Subtract. Let's try if this works. Subtract a minus b. Okay, let's try if we can do a custom new subtract calculate 100 I. Yeah, I think this is something that we can test the subtract tool on. See if it actually works. Okay, it does count. It does use the subtract tool. Okay. Yeah, so this basically shows the custom tool also works. Yeah. Yeah, so that's all for the 2-core implementation. Let's move on to testing Qwen3 Coder, Qwen Coder 3. Yeah, so basically I want to see if it actually can perform coding as well as 2-core. So let's test out the 2-core first. Let's see. Let's just do it via Open Router because it's slightly easier to do. Okay, let's add the new model here. Which company was it? Okay. Coder. Okay. All this. Which provider should we use? Oh wow, this is very expensive. Alibaba open source, Alibaba together. Holy shit, these are so freaking expensive. I think Open Router has this auto routing logic where if you pass in the tools and it will route to the provider which supports 2-core. So let's just leave it empty and see which one we get. Okay. Let's try to run the calculate on the Qwen3 Coder. Oh, why does it not have a name? Oh, okay, I see. I think there's a bug here with my previous feature. Yeah, it doesn't show correctly if I don't put in a provider. I guess that's a minor thing. It did work. So let's see which provider did we route it to. We got routed to deep.infra, no surprise, because it's the cheapest. Yeah, so let's try to test the deep infra. I mean, I'm gonna do a more comprehensive testing of all the providers, but let's just try the deep infra first, see how well it does. So we're just gonna select deep infra here. And now we have all our experiments to test coding skills. So okay, so we're at 11:44. So let's try a few interesting ones. Let's try the benchmark visualization one because the benchmark visualization one is quite fun. We're gonna try to generate some kind of benchmark visualization using the model. So it's gonna generate an HTML that renders a benchmark, something like this. I've tested this on a bunch of models and I'm quite curious on how well the Qwen3 does. So let's try this on the Qwen3 via deep infra. So let's select oh shit, I forgot to name it the deep infra. Go back, name it deep infra. So this is deep infra. Your name. Okay, so this is the deep infra one. Go back and deep. So this is gonna generate like a HTML file to visualize like some kind of benchmark results. Let's go back to benchmark. What do you call that? Model benchmark base. So we're testing the Qwen3 Qwen3 Coder via deeps infra. We're testing it via open router to deep infra. Okay. Yeah, so this is gonna be the file where we put the HTML. It's still running. Okay. Okay, apparently it's a little bit slow. Okay. So 1975 tokens. That looks correct. Output. Oh, this is kind of wrong. Oh, this is before I fix the reasoning. Let's just delete. 1975. Okay, so this is the correct one. That is gonna routed to the deep infra. This response seems kind of long. Okay, I guess it's similar to others. Let's see how well this renders. Open this. Oh, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? No, this is so bad. How can it be so bad? This is very bad. Like unbelievably bad. This is unbelievably bad. Okay, I guess it's deep infra, so yeah. I don't know. I don't even know how to rate this, but I have already saved the results here. This is nothing like the other models, right? So the other models are like normal bar charts or like this one doesn't render correctly. This is interestingly, this is also a Qwen3 model. And then this is also a Qwen3 model. So Qwen3 models tend to give very weird visualization, and this is the same, right? So we still get the same weird visualization, but this is deep infra. So let's test out some other providers. What's the official one? What's the official provider here? Dash Scope International. Ali. Okay. Other plus. Alibaba Cloud Model still. Okay. What's the difference between Alibaba Plus and okay, let's just use this Alibaba Plus because it's quite fast. So let's create a new model. Coder, Alibaba Plus. Okay. Create this model, and then we will run this. Hopefully this time is better. Okay, 1659. Okay. This is like much faster than deep infra, which is interesting. See how does it render? Okay. Doesn't actually work. Okay, I guess this is the small issue, so it just redeclared the not a big problem. Let's fix this. Wait. Doubts. Models. Interesting. What if I just remove this line? Okay. Doesn't look correct to me. So I have to do some weird thingy, I guess. Weird refactoring. Oh, it's the same. Okay. I don't know how to I don't know what to think about this, but it looks pretty bad. Only renders one side, not the other. Looks pretty bad to me. Looks pretty bad. Yeah, this is like nothing like the other models. The colors and everything is weird, and it's only half of it, like in the other half, and it has like a small bug. Yeah, my first impression of this model is not very good already. Let's try another one. This is the clean markdown task that's in my eval data set. So this one we just need to run the code and see if it works. Yeah. Let's try this one on our new. Oh, why do we have a tools? Yeah, the tools column is quite big. Let's try to run this on the Alibaba Plus. So let's try to run this like 3 times, and then see if there's any like variance. So this is Qwen3 Coder Open Router Alibaba Plus .ts, first one, and this second one, third one. So we're gonna run this 3 times and see the output. Well, the benchmark was pretty bad, and if this one also doesn't come out very good, then this model is gonna get very low rating on my benchmark. So yeah, let's see. So we're just gonna copy all this code into our project, and then we're gonna run our automatic evaluation function. to evaluate the result. Let's see if there's difference in output. Yeah, the output is slightly different, just slightly, and this two looks almost exactly the same. Not exactly the same, almost. Okay. So let's use a cursor for this. Projects. Okay. So the first output gave one error, one new line problem. So this additional new line here, and the second one is okay. The third one is also okay. Interesting. So I guess if we were to rate it, let me move this into an experiment. Let's call this Qwen3 Coder. Let's move this experiment to the other one. Not get confused. So I don't really care which one is which one, it doesn't really matter, but one of them got rating of, actually it doesn't matter. Let's try to find the correct one. I guess this is the one that, oh, these are all the same. I have to try to find the one that is unique. Oh, these two are the same. What's the difference between? One has more space. Okay, let me try to, now this is getting a little bit messed up. Let me try to commit and then recopy this all over so that we know which one is which one. This is the result one. So this one is also result. This is not the correct one. This is not the correct one. This one. Also not the correct one. Let's just rerun this again. This is the first one. Let me delete all the. We should be able to get back the same result. Doesn't really matter. Run. Okay, so I have recopied all three of them, and then let's rerun the test. Yeah, so same. Oh, it's just the white space problem. Okay, good. Okay, that's interesting. So apparently for this task, this clean markdown task, it did pretty well, right? So the first one got one white space problem. So if we were to use back the same rubrics here, then we can rate this. So it has one new line issues. One new line issue is 8.5, and it's quite it is actually quite short, right? So it's like 10,000 1,000 characters. Let's compare it to let's actually duplicate the Opus result to our new experiment and see how does it compare, right? So it's about the same length as Opus. in terms of the length of the code. So I would say it's actually quite short, right? So based on our rubrics, we're gonna award it at additional 0.25, give it 8.75. And for the second and the third one, because the output is exactly right, so they'll give it a 9 out of 10. And then because of the short code, so it's gonna give it 9.2 for both. Okay. Okay, so so that's interesting. Wait, I forgot to rate it on the visualization one. So this is pretty bad, right? This is like did not run and have major, I think it has major formatting errors. So horizontal bars, formatting issues. So it's definitely a 5 out of 10. So that gives us let's move this back to, so because the majority of it got 9.25, so I'm actually gonna use a 9.251 and duplicate to this experiment, and then we will be able to see. Let's move this to testing. So on one hand, it got very good result for clean markdown, but on the other hand, the benchmark visualization is pretty bad compared to Qwen3 K2. Okay, it's it's actually currently it's worse, but plus we still have time, so let's finish this evaluation. Let's try this first. Try this. Try this task first. This is the simple task that tests the instruction following capability of the model. Let's see how well this model does. Okay, 472 tokens should correspond here. 472, okay. So correct, looks correct. Correct. Oh no, it's actually outputting the full code. So we can see here are like about 1000 characters, and here we have 1800 characters. So that's definitely outputting the full code, which gives us a 8 out of 10 rating for this model because it's not following the. Okay, so let's moving on to this particular test. TypeScript and the evaluation. Okay. Let's test out this one. Okay, so Qwen3 Coder counter plus dot. Oh, okay. Doesn't work. Obviously doesn't work. So just run this. Yeah, but it doesn't work. So this is the wrong answer. Move it to the wrong answer. Wrong TypeScript answer. So with a wrong answer, it will get a 1 out of 10 score for this task. Yep. Okay. Let's see. We have this task, just a lot of code task. See how well this does. Okay. 6 out of 7. Oh, what the hell is this? It's not supposed to add this, I think. Yeah, it's not supposed to handle ignore suffixes, right? Why does it have this file? This is weird. Oh yeah, I mean it does have this. Okay, so it's just an existing code. Oh, I see what's doing here. It's adding it to the process file. Process file instead of okay. I have to check my original file to understand whether this is correct. So where is this process file called? Okay, it's called inside the add file. And it's only called inside the add file. And add file is called after this. And then we are expecting it to be added here, right? So that's what all the top models are doing. After the if belong to workspace, they will first need to check the ignore suffix and then call add default, right? So that's why you only need to change this one location. That's what all the top models would do, because that's the shortest answer. So for Qwen3 Coder, it actually changed 2 places, but I think the first place is not needed. Yeah, this is not needed, right? This is one level lower, like the downstream. So it changed the file that does not need to be changed. So I have to update the rubrics to reflect this. This is not helpful extra large. This is added unnecessary logic. Minus 0.5 rating. Yeah. Okay. So we actually need to update the rubrics for it. Because we have a new situation based on this model that we need to handle. Update the rubrics. So it did solve the task, which it gave an unnecessary 8.75. I think it's pretty concise. I mean, not that concise, but it's okay. So we're just gonna leave it at 8.75. Okay, so so it doesn't look like it's a very good model based on my benchmark. So it scored a 6.4 across 5 tasks. That is the lowest, even below Qwen3. Yeah. It did surprisingly well for the clean markdown, but it did quite poorly for all the other tasks. I think because of the variance, I might give it another try. Let's give it another try for the benchmark visualization task. It's pretty bad, right? It's pretty bad in my testing. Like you can see, it's also trending downwards, right? In terms of usage. I guess it does tell you something. Let's remove the deep infra one. Okay, let's give it another try. Why is it still horizontal bars? Oh my god. It does have labels. So it's just two horizontal bar charts. That's very underwhelming, right? That's very, very underwhelming. Not good at all. That's pretty bad. It's at least better than the previous generation. That's something. Oh wait, the horizontal one was from diff infra, so the previous one was like this. Yeah, this is not good. Let's try to rate it. Not sure how to rate this. Let me check my rubrics. So it has a so it has a horizontal bar, which doesn't really matter. There's some overlapping. I think a horizontal bar would be a minus, or it's just generally not very good looking. Minor formatting issues. I guess that's the one, right? Minor formatting issues. So it has horizontal bars, minor formatting issues. $7.5. $7.5. Cool, right? Cool. So the second run. The visualization with horizontal bars. Which is unusual, but okay, but not an issue problem. The legend overlaps with the bar chart, causing minor formatting. Yeah, I think that's a fair characterization of what happened. not a very efficient use of space. I think actually the horizontal bar is not a very efficient use of space, right? As compared to the vertical bars. Yeah, it's not a very efficient space. So I think there should be minus point for using horizontal bars, because it cannot fit into one page. Okay, let's update the rubrics, right? Cannot fit in page. If cannot fit in page. Yeah, if it cannot fit into page, then it's a inefficient use of space. So we should minus point for that. So that would be 7.5. Which cannot be fit. Page. Also, the first run generated a visualization. First run generation was missing chart, so we generated. Let's note on that. So that will reduce it at 7. Let's also update the rubrics. Yeah, we have 2 rubrics files here. Update. Okay, so our new rubrics is here. I think I already updated this. Let me check. Yep, so this is a horizontal bar chart and cannot fit into the page. So we're gonna change it to 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10 instead of 7.5. Which is okay, it's an improvement from the previous results, which was 5, right? The previous one was 5, now it's 7. We gave it a second chance because of the large variance associated with benchmark visualization test. So that makes sense. So, but still, in summary, it's still worse than Gemini 2.5 and Kimi K2, and nowhere close to other models, right? So, so yeah, that's the conclusion we have. Let me try to reopen. I don't know which model can we omit when we show the results. Like, do people care about group 4 results, or can we just hide that? I actually don't know. Like, this is a lot of models to show. I mean, we have to show this too because this is the best, and this is the second best, which most people use. And then this is the only one from OpenAI, and this is the only one from Google. I guess we can hide group 2 because nobody cares. But it's better than Gemini 2.5 Pro. Okay, it's really weird. So let's just leave it like that. And then we highlight the Alibaba Plus. Oh. It's actually very similar to Qwen3 If you look at the numbers, right, it's like almost exactly the same, except for the benchmark visualization task. That's where it's like worse. But if you look at Gemini 2.5 Pro, it's actually quite different in terms of how it scores, right? I guess these tasks rubrics could be changed so that we can avoid the 1 score. Like 1 is really harsh for the wrong answer. It actually skews all the scores to very low if you get a wrong answer. So we need to compensate for that with more experiments. Okay, yeah, I guess we've completed what we want to test. So let's see, we have the 2 calls here, and all the models do work with 2 calls. Let's remove that. We can't go into more details on like which model is the best at 2 calls, but in general all of them do support 2 call, which is unsurprising. And then for the for the Qwen3 Coder, it's actually worse than Qwen2. I guess that's the conclusion we have. So I guess that's all for the stream. I hope you guys, all of you, enjoyed the stream and then learned something about Claude Code and how to use it. Yeah, we didn't really spend much tokens, right? This is like a $20 plan using Sonnet 4, so yeah, we only spent $8 to add this 2 call support, which is pretty cool, I think. Yeah, that's all for the stream. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next week, I guess. Bye.